What's up, you guys? Titty Striker here, and this Saturday we have UFC Saudi Arabia, where Whittaker is taking on Rainier the Ritter. And in this video, I'm going to give you guys my predictions for all the fights on the main card, starting with Nikita Krylov taking on Bogdan Gruskov, and I'm going to go with Bogdan Gruskov. I feel like he is very dangerous. He's got, I think 100% finishing rate, whether it's submissions or knockouts. And he's very dangerous. He did get submitted early in his UFC career against Volkan Oezdemir, but overall he's looked great. And Nikita Krylov just got flattened by Dominic Reyes in April, and that wasn't really that long ago. And it wasn't just a TKO. He was really out cold, and that was 3 months ago. And now he's back. I feel like this is a little bit too soon of a turnaround. I think he's still not going to be at 100%. And I could see Bogdan Gruskov getting a finish inside the distance. I'm going to say Bogdan is going to get a finish in the second round by TKO. But then moving on to Asu Almabayev taking on Jose Ochoa. And I'm going to go with Jose Ochoa. I think he's the far better striker. He's got solid grappling. I mean, he just fought recently at UFC Atlanta, and his opponent was a grappler. He had a whole training camp preparing for this guy. And he went through the fight, and he dealt with the grappling really well. And now he's taking on another grappler who, honestly, in his last fight against Manel Cap, he looked terrified to stand and strike. He looked like an amateur, and partly because he was in front of Manel Cap, but also because, I don't know if he is really that good on the feet. And I think we're going to see Jose Ochoa do his thing here. He looked great in his last fight where he scored a knockout in the second round. And you don't really see too many knockouts in the flyweight division. But then when he fought Lonnie Kavanaugh, I felt like he could have won that fight. It was a really close fight. He hurt Lonnie Kavanaugh really bad with body shots in the second round. And round 3 was really, really close. You could have made an argument and gave that fight to him. But regardless, I think he's going to go out there and beat Asu Almabayev by decision. Moving on to Shara Bullet Magomedov taking on Marc-Andre Barriault, and I'm gonna go with Shara Bullet. In that MVP fight, I felt like that was more of how good MVP was of a fighter. I mean, this guy, he's doing that to Ian Gary in welterweight division too, and he's just Michael Manapage is just different. But I think Shara Bullet is gonna learn for that fight. He's gonna be more aggressive in this one, I believe. He's going to let his hands go a bit more. Because with MVP, he tried to, but then he would get countered or he would just miss. And he wasn't having success at all in that fight. But Marc-Andre Barriault is going to look a lot slower compared to MVP. And I think Shara is just a better striker. And I think we're going to see that. Marc-Andre could try to mix it up with the grappling, but I don't think that's going to be enough. And I don't think his grappling is on that level to really beat a guy like Shara Bullet. So I think Shara Bullet is going to get it done by a third round TKO. Moving on to the co-main event, we got Peter Yan taking on Marcus McGee. And I think Peter Yan is going to win this fight by decision, but I'm really excited to see this one. Marcus McGee is a solid fighter. He's really good. He hasn't lost yet in the UFC. He's got great boxing skills. He's also got incredible kicks, and he does a good job of using some classic Dutch kickboxing, the combinations where you throw a kick and then you follow up with a punch, or you throw a punch and you follow up with a kick. I mean, this guy is really good. He's dynamic on the feet. He's very powerful and explosive too. So he could give Peter Yan problems, but Peter Yan is just on a different level. McGee has never faced anyone like him, whereas Peter Yan, he's been there with so many different styles of opponents that he's fought some shorter, fast, and explosive and powerful fighters with that same type of build. And also, when McGee, sometimes he just has this tendency to avoid shots, and he'll lift his hands in the air, kind of leaving his face wide open and completely unguarded. And Peter Yan is known for his shifting combinations, so I could see him getting a knockdown over McGee at some point where there's a combination and then he follows through with another shot that McGee doesn't see coming and is not expecting, and McGee has his hands in the air and he gets clipped right on the nose and gets sat down. But also, Peter Yan just has so many weapons in his arsenal that it's going to be a lot to deal with from McGee. I mean, his last opponent was Jonathan Martinez, who is a solid fighter, but he is, compared to Peter Yan, he's very one-dimensional. He's got powerful leg kicks. He's got, decent boxing, but outside of that, nothing else to really threaten you with. Whereas Peter Yan, he can hurt you from both stances, with punches, with kicks. I mean, with spinning attacks, spinning back fists. He can also take you down. There is so much, and also there's a clinch from Peter Yan. There's a lot that Peter Yan can threaten Marcus McGee with, and I think that's what's going to happen in this fight. He's just going to be too much for him, and I think he's going to get it done by decision 30-27. Then we have Robert Whittaker taking on Rainier the Ritter, and I think Robert Whittaker is going to win this fight. I don't see him getting a finish here. The Ritter is fairly tough, and Robert Whittaker doesn't really get finishes too often here, but I think he is going to beat him for the better part of 5 rounds. I could see him getting like a 49-46 or even a 50-45, because Whittaker, he's just one of the best fighters in the world, and the Ritter, he just beat Boneko. But outside of that, I mean, yeah, he finished Kevin Holland, but you're going from Boneko to fighting Robert Whittaker, that is a huge step up in competition, and I don't think this is gonna go well at all. This is not a Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van situation. This is not a Khamzat Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns situation. This is different, and I think Robert Whittaker is going to show that there's a different level. I could see him actually hurting the Ritter pretty bad, and maybe even get a finish, because the Ritter is southpaw, and Whittaker loves that 1-2 head kick combination against the southpaw fighters, so he could potentially get a TKO here. But I think that Whittaker, he's only lost to the best guys in the world. I mean, the 2 guys fighting for the title next month are Duplessis and Khamzat, and those are his last 2 losses. They both finished him, but the Ritter is not on these guys' level. I feel like you got to build him up slower. Yes, he is a champion in another organization, but, maybe give him a fight against a guy like maybe a Brennan Allen or Vittori, or maybe a Roman Delite, and then you can give him a guy who's in the top 5, top 6. But yeah, I see Whittaker winning this. I don't see the Ritter getting it done. I don't think he's going to hurt Whittaker on the feet. Whittaker is really good defensively, on the feet and on the ground too. He defends takedowns really well. Yes, he lost to Khamzat, but he is still an incredible grappler. That just shows how good Khamzat is. But I see Whittaker winning this fight. Let me know what you guys think about these fights that are coming up tomorrow. Let me know your predictions down below. Thank you guys for watching. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.